all of a sudden, the train came roaring round a curve. Peanut butter.
Welcome to a very sunny morning in my room. So we're starting off with a foam roller wet set. I set my hair, I actually do my sets on completely dry hair, which I dampen with a mixture of Lotta Body setting lotion and water. And once I've set all of my curls in place, then I sleep with a hairnet and a scarf over it to stop the rollers from moving when I'm tossing and turning. And yes, it is very bright and there are lots of shadows. I hope it's not too distracting. And that you can see what I'm doing, but I'm starting off by taking out the top section, which will be the poodle of this poodle hairstyle. So I set around 4 or 5 rollers on the top. The front 4 are going forwards towards the face, and I have one at the back that's facing backwards, but I will be incorporating some of that hair into the poodle style as well, so I'm taking that one out also. And I have a big old container of bobby pins because you will need it. And now I'm going to start from the very back, separating out a piece of hair and rolling down with my Lauren Reynolds pin curl sculpture tool. And then you're going to take all of the hair just in a big lump. Make sure that you have all of the hair that you want in the poodle section. You can separate it to be bigger or smaller depending on how you go, and then separate a sort of row of hair out. You can twist it and put it to the side so it's out of your way, and then we're going to collect up all of the rest of the hair, and I'm just going to be clipping that together with a pin curl clip just so it stays out of the way while I do the rest of it. And this is how I do my poodle. I like to do it fairly organized in rows because I just find that that's easiest for me. And now we're just going to take small sections and roll around the Lauren Reynolds pin curl sculpture tool again, roll down to the scalp, pull gently out from the center, and then pin to the head with a bobby pin. I'm only using 1 bobby pin per curl because that's all that I find I need. And this is really all we're going to be doing. There's not really much else that's special. You can roll it around your fingers instead of using this tool if you think that would be easier, but I find it easiest to create a really nice uniform polished style, which is how I prefer my poodle, with this tool. So it's up to you how you choose to do it. You can see again we're separating out a row and clipping the rest of the hair together, and we're just going to continue rolling after I've taken a break for my arms. This is basically the equivalent of doing an arm workout.
Shake it, break it.
I know that my hair has been mostly out of the frame, so there's a bit of a closer shot at how I'm using the pin curl sculpture tool there. You just wrap the ends around, and then as you roll down, the ends become sort of encased in the roll, so it creates a really nice, even, uniform pin curl. And I just like to really make sure that these front ones are very nicely secure and look quite pretty, because they're, of course, the main thing that people will see when they look at me straight on. This is a really surprisingly easy hairstyle. I always thought that it would be very difficult, and this was my first time doing just a full poodle hairstyle, and people loved it. Everyone was amazed that I had done my hair myself. They thought it had been done for me. And you can see that this is something that's very achievable on yourself. I think it just takes some playing around to see how you like to wear it and where your hair likes to go, and getting used to pinning it and everything. But it's definitely an achievable hairstyle on yourself and looks very vintage and really, really gorgeous. It also gets a lot of the hair up and off of your face and kind of sweeps it up and adds height, which I think looks really lovely. Now you can, of course, do this look on completely straight hair if you want to, but I find that it's always easier for me to do hairstyles on hair that already has some kind of texture or curl to it, because it just already naturally kind of wants to go into those curved shapes. When my hair is a little bit straighter, I find it's a little bit more tricksome to get all of the hair into the rolls easily first time. So this is just the way that I prefer to do it.
Went around to all the dances in town, most every night or so. Little Pearl was his girl and she could always be found.
Securing that very, very last pin curl for the poodle style, and there we have our completed poodle updo section.
Out in the hall.
It looks so pretty. And of course, now we are going to spray the living hell out of it with your hairspray.
He dipped with his knees, he brought her to a corner and he feel a little squeeze while they were dancing around, all around, all around. They were the talk of the town.
Next, I'm just taking out my fringe, which I also put in rollers for an authentic kind of 1940s fluffy fringe look, and then I'm running my fingers through it and combing it into the shape. I actually really like my fringe curled up like this. I think it looks really cute. And really complements the rest of the curls.
Girls around in the town all love to dance with young Brown, but they all knew him.
Now we're just going to style the rest of my set, which I, by the way, set in a skip wave pattern, which is rows of alternating rollers, and just take out the rollers, run your fingers through, and then brush through into the shape that you like. I have so many other brush out videos, so if you want a bit more information, you can go and watch some of those as well.
Head on his shoulder, and oh how he teased them. He dipped with his knees, he brought her to a corner, and he'd feel a little squeeze while they were dancing around, all around, all around. They were the talk of the town, and when the band was playing, that hesitation you could hear her saying, that some sensation and the dancing today till the break of the day, while they were dancing around, their big dancing around. Oh how he'd hold her, head on his shoulder, oh how he teased them. He'd dip with his knees, he'd drop her to a corner, and he'd feel a little sweet while they were dancing.
And this is the finished style. It's so beautiful, really, really vintage looking, and I think will really help to jazz up any sort of outfit that you're wearing. It adds height and sort of sweeps up the face, and it just looks really, really beautiful. So I hope that you liked seeing how I created it. And I hope that you now think of poodle hair as something slightly less intimidating.
When I was a kid at school learning the golden rule, teacher often used to say, if you don't tell a lie, there's not a reason why you can't be like Washington someday. No one knows how hard I tried to follow teacher's plan. I did it till the day that I became a married man. But since that day, by golly, folks, I cannot understand. How did Georgie do it? Why doesn't some wise man get up and explain? Why doesn't he clear up? us the mystery.
So I thought I would talk you through this variation of the poodle style that I did for day 2 of the 40s festival. I wanted to do a very nice poodle updo again, but I didn't want to do quite as many curls. So all I've done is I have the exact same amount of hair as I had yesterday, and I've just done a poodle style again, but it's all shifted over towards this side, so I just had to make slightly less curls. With the last section that I curled, I just curled it over this way, whereas everything else is pretty much curled the other way, if that makes sense. So we have this section, sorry it's weird looking in the mirrored screen of my camera, so we just have this section which is free here, and everything, all of the curls are all concentrated all around here, and this means that you also have, as well as having slightly less curls, so slightly less arm work, you also have a nice space for flowers or any sideways hats that you might want to wear, and it just proves that the poodle style is really cute and versatile, so I hope you like this version as well.
Those weekend trips to Washington Heights, say how could Washington be a married man and never, never tell a lie? Why doesn't some wise man get up and explain? Why doesn't he clear up my poor mother brain? Why doesn't history tell us the mystery? Why doesn't somebody do it? Oh, Georgie knew a thing or two, I'll agree. The Independence Declaration says liberty. So how could Washington be a married man and never, never tell a lie?
He's a boogie, boogie, bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. They really got him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand. Because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band, and now the company jumps when he makes family. He's the boogie, boogie, bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a toot, a toot, he goes and makes him a bar. He can't blow a note unless the basic guitars playing with heart. And now the company jumps when he plays family. He's the boogie, boogie, bugle boy of Company